Today, I am going to be setting up and decorating two separate planners with two different layouts, but using the same exact sticker set. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are here for the first time, my name is Tracy and I want to thank everybody so much for joining me today. So yes, I am going to be setting up and decorating some planners, y'all, and not just one, but two. I'm going to try to get through this quick, especially because I hear thunder outside, and yeah, I don't know why that's going to make me go any faster, but yeah, it felt like the right thing to say. I don't know. So this is my dashboard planner. This is both my creative projects planner and my social media planner. This was the first week of July. Isn't it pretty? So I kind of got, I kind of got a handle on things about how I'm going to be using this. So I'm really excited to set this up and decorate it. So I'm going to take this off of the disc. And then I'm also going to be decorating and setting up my catch-all. This was for last week. I do plan on probably doing some end of the month check-ins where I can flip through my planners and my journals and things like that. Maybe, I don't know if I'll do it at the end of every month or maybe every 2 months, or we'll see. But I've been pretty bad about that. But I realized I don't really have too many personal things in here, so I can probably share them on my channel. Let's actually start with this one because I can go more stickery in this planner. This planner is a lot more functional. I mean, they're both functional, but I don't have as much space in my vertical just because it gets full with all the things. But this one I have a lot more room. So yes, I do have to redate it. Both my planners are 2025 planners, so I have to redate it, but it's fine. It's another decorative element I can add. Let me share with you the sticker book. I'm going to use Summer Edit by Live Love Posh. I need to check to see if this is still available. I did forget to check. I do have a discount code for Live Love Posh. That is a GWP10 that will save you 10% on your purchase. Doesn't work on sub boxes or bundles or anything like that, but it does work on most everything else. And I'm going to use this sticker set. And the reason why I'm using this sticker set is because you have two sets of elements and things, and then you have two pages of florals, not two sets, 2 pages of florals. Now the florals are duplicates, but the elements are not. So I can kind of do almost 2 different looks with that. Some of the other ones, they are 2 pages, but then you get duplicates of those pages. So I figure this one will be cute. I'm gonna just go ahead and start decorating, and then we can kind of chat about how things are going, how I'm using this particular planner, and things like that. If you didn't catch my mid-year planner check-in / planner lineup update, this particular planner, which is the Kelva Plant Dashboard Planner, is a 2025 planner. I used the January through June portion of this planner last year. It was working fine at the time. I mean, it's a really fun planner to decorate. It's also, to me, it's a pretty adaptable planner. You can pretty much use it for everything. It's good for brain dumps. It's good for to-do lists, weekly to-do lists and things like that. Obviously, if you have a lot of daily tasks, then you might run into an issue just because the spaces with the dates are a little small. But for a lot of things, I think this planner works well. And I actually used to use it for social media when I first got my when I first started a social media planner, it was the dashboard planner. So I know this works. And it's been working pretty well for the past week because that's all I've been in it for social media and my creative projects planning. Now, I've talked before on my channel, when I say creative projects, it's all of those, I would say extra projects that I'm doing. I mean, and essentially everything's extra, but it's all those little side projects that don't always make an appearance on my channel either. So I have an adventure book that I created, which is pretty much a travel log, but it's scrapbook style. And I'm trying to capture all of the trips that I've taken ever. So obviously that is quite a task. So I have been working on that for like over a year, and I don't think I have touched that book though in like at least 3 months. So that is the type of project that will go on my priority list on this dot grid page over here. Now, whether or not I actually tackle it or even start working on it in that week is kind of like, we'll see. But I'm going to keep putting it on that priority list unless there's another project that needs to go up on that list to take its place. Eventually, I will get it done. But yeah, I like to prioritize some of those projects that I feel like I abandoned because they're just intimidating. They're a lot of work. It takes a lot of effort. And I know if I start those projects, it's going to be like a 2 or 3 hour thing. So I also got to make sure I have time to do it. I usually will have time to do it, but I don't think I do. So then, I don't do them. There are other projects that I put on here too. So like, if it's time for me to set up my currently journal for the month, I may put that on here because I might want to start brainstorming ideas for how I want to do it. Like for my currently journal, I've been doing a lot of fun, what I think is fun, little setups. Like obviously I've done some Dutch doors, but I've also done some faux Dutch doors. I've done some like scrapbooking elements, like some interactive elements and things like that. So maybe I'll brainstorm something new for that, or maybe I'll just brainstorm the sticker book I want to use or something of that nature. So that's the kind of stuff I put on my in my creative projects section, which tends to basically be that dot grid page that I put the boxes on. And it's working pretty well. So really what I've learned about my creative projects is I don't really need anything dated. I just need a blank sheet of paper. But it works well with my social media because I can also start thinking about my creative projects and be like, okay, I really want to work on that one this week. That sounds like fun, but it also sounds like something that would be fun to film. So then I can now, transfer that over to my social media and put that as a to-do list. Like, hey, I want to film this when I do that. So that's kind of how they work hand in hand. I will say it's been a lot of fun having this like creative project section and things like that. I feel like I've been a little bit more creative because of it, because I've been like brainstorming ideas like days before I actually sit down to do the project. Whereas, typically, and I still do this for some projects, I like sit down and just start working, which means I just have no preparation done. So like if I think about things in advance, then I can go into like Creative Fabrica or, maybe search the internet for clip art and find images that would work really well for whether it be a journaling spread or whatever, a scrapbooking spread or whatever. So I can prepare that way and prepare in advance instead of just sitting down and just like trying to look through sticker books and use something that might work. But even though if I found my own clip art, it might work better. Does that make sense? Am I rambling? Yes. I'm rambling. So yeah, needless to say, I love having a place for my creative project planning, and this works well. I will say I'm using this in combination with the Happy Planner monthly layout, and that's where I do all my monthly brainstorming and brain dumps and things like that, especially for like content, video ideas, and things like that. So that's where the bulk of my social media planning goes. As far as the weeklies, the only thing I really write down is like my video schedule and if there's anything that is coming up in regards to any of the companies that I'm currently PRing for. That's pretty much it. I don't even plan when I need to film a video because right now I'm in one of those types of moods where I'm just, whenever I feel like filming a video, I'll just film it. Which right now is working fine because it's been like 100+ degrees out. So I've been like, I guess you can say I've been hibernating in the AC, which means I've had a little bit more time to film than I probably will like a month or two from now. So yeah, right now I'm just kind of going with the flow. So right now my social media planning is a little lax, but like I said, the the project planning's been, pretty good, and I've been doing more of that in that planner than actual social media planning. Now we're here for my catch-all, which I featured this planner on my channel quite a bit. I've done a lot of weekly setups and things like that with this planner, where I kind of do my goal setting and then kind of go into this. I will say, just for a quick update, because I have been using this planner since the beginning of the year, I've actually started putting a little bit less stuff in here, which means I can put in more stickers, but it's not like a whole lot less. So basically, at the beginning of the year, I would put like all the important stuff, like, appointments and, birthdays and things of that nature in here. And then I would put my to-dos down in here. But when I would put my to-dos in here, I would put everything that I could possibly want to do that day in here. And it just became a little overwhelming. And I was finding that I was missing some of the things that I really needed to do. Just because I would look at the to-do list and I'd be too long, and I'm like, I'm not doing that today. So then I would do nothing. So what I've started doing is just listing the things that I really need to get done. Whether it needs to get done on Monday or Tuesday is kind of like, so I'll put it on Monday. If it doesn't get done on Monday, then I'll go to Tuesday. But it is something that really needs to get done versus something that I would just like to get done. So that could be anything from making a phone call to making an appointment or canceling something like a subscription or something of that nature, to even some type of like house project thing I need to do. So yeah, that's what I mean by those to-dos. But I used to like overload this with even chores. Now what I do is, at the bottom of the hemlock and oak, there's a fairly large blank space, which I have some stickers in there. You will see me draw boxes down there. And I just write down the main chores that I need to do in my house that week. And I'm not talking about like the everyday chores. I'm talking about like the larger kind of projects that I might need to set aside a couple of hours to do. I just kind of write them in that box. Again, I'm not trying to figure out what day I'm going to do them. I'm just trying to write them in that box, so that way I know that this is like the 2 or 3 things that I really want to get done that week. As far as the other to-dos that I do put on here, you can see me highlighting here now. I do put my work to-dos in here. This is the only place my work to-dos go. But this is the only work planning I really do in here. So I will put work to-dos and like work meetings and things like that in here. But I don't really do other work plans in here, if that makes sense. What I am going to start doing is I put a combination of highlights and bullet points. The highlights are like the must-dos, and then the bullet points are those that, like, again, the ones that can get done on Monday or Tuesday. They still need to get done the week, but they can get done either of those days type thing. So that's how I'm differentiating between those. Even though I cut down my to-do list by not putting those, I like to do them type things on here, they were still getting overwhelming. So I wanted a way to kind of differentiate the ones that I have to do that one day versus the ones that I could do a day or two later. Hope that makes sense. I just feel extra chatty today, guys. I don't know if I'm repeating myself or not. By the way, yes, I was doing these spreads after I got out of the shower. So yes, that is a towel on my head. I really need to figure out a better camera angle so that is not showing up in the camera. But yeah, there really isn't much to really talk about as far as my catch-all goes. Because like I said, this has been my tried and true since January. It's not going anywhere. And the actual setup has been fairly similar as well. I still like to add stickers, but you can see it is kind of minimally decorated. I think according to like how I decorated my other spread, it is kind of minimally decorated, which is another reason why I add a lot of the highlights and like draw boxes and stuff like that, because I could just write everything down in my planner without any of the extra stuff. But I just think it adds a little something. And by the way, there has been a week or two that has been like, there's been no decorations and just pen. And I was fine with that. I wasn't as happy with that, but I was fine with that. All right, y'all, we are almost done. So I'm just going to like let you watch me put on like 1 or 2 more stickers and then we'll wrap it up. All right, guys. So yeah, I have to keep this pretty basic, but I still think it's cute. All right, I do want to add one of the girls to here because I didn't use any of the girls on the spread. So I want to put one of them here because I said I wanted to use one. And then I completely like overestimated the size of them. Ooh, I like her. She kind of has the vibes that I'm feeling at the moment. Oh, wow. She's going to take up all of that room. She would actually look better over here. All right. Now we put the box down. There we go. I like her there. She's cute. Now here, or all right, guys. Let's put these on disc because for some reason that always gives you a better view of what it's going to look like. So there we go, guys. 2 spreads using the same exact sticker set, and I feel like they actually look a little bit different. Like this one, definitely very flower heavy, a few elements, just a couple. And then this one was kind of all the seaside vibes. So I think it was very different. Of course, this one I went a little bit more heavier with the highlights and stuff like that because this one has to be really functional, but I want it to look a little cute, y'all. So there we go, guys. 2 spreads using the same exact sticker set. Plenty of stickers. It's still left over to do another fun spread, but right now these are the only 2 that I'm decorating in advance. I have a daily journal, but I've been decorating that as I go, and I will say I really enjoy that because I basically write and then I fill in the area that I didn't write in with stickers. So it's a lot better than when I was putting stickers down and then trying to write in whatever space was left, which sometimes ended up being too much space. All right, guys, there we go. Again, I used the Summer Edit sticker book from Live Love Posh. I will have it linked down in the description box. And then, of course, I decorated my Hemlock and Oak B5 Vertical, which is my catch-all planner, and then the Caliber Plan dashboard, which is my project planner / social media planner. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I do hope to throw in some planner plan with me videos every so often. I do love decorating my journals, but I also like decorating my planners. So I do hope to have these on my channel maybe once a week, or at least at minimum once every other week. So I do hope you guys enjoy them. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this one, press that like button. If you have yet to subscribe, I hope you would also consider subscribing to my channel. That's all I have for now. I hope you have a good rest of your day, evening, or night. Until next time, bye.